What's up, everybody, and welcome to the first edition of Parlay It Forward, where we give 10% of the winnings each week back to the charity of your choice. My name's Joe, and we're going to dive in Thursday night football. It's the NFC West rivalry matchup against the Brock Purdy-led 49ers and Geno Smith's Seahawks. There's a couple different matchups I really like tonight, and there's a couple player props that I think are undervalued. So let's dive in. Tonight, I like Jauan Jennings at an alt receiving line over 25 yards. He's playing against the Seattle defense where they have their cornerbacks playing press coverage at the third highest clip in the league. Now, when Brock Purdy goes up against press coverage, Jauan Jennings is the highest targeted receiver at a 35% clip, followed by Brandon Ayuk at 30%. I like teasing that line down on the receiving side for Jennings at over 25 yards. What that means is he has to get 25 yards receiving. If he gets 24, we lose. If he gets 26, we win. If he hits 25 on the dot, we win. So bet Jauan Jennings over 25 yards receiving. Next up, let's talk Deebo Samuel. I'm going to do an alt rushing and receiving line for Deebo. Now, Deebo alone in 6 out of the last 7 matchups has hit for over 79 yards receiving against the Seahawks. So what I'm going to do is an alt line over 40 yards rushing and receiving combined. That means he can get 30 yards receiving and only 10 rushing, and we hit. He can get 30 rushing and only 10 receiving, and we hit. But that total between the rushing and the receiving has to add up to at least 40 yards. So 6 out of the last 7 matchups, he's hit for 79 yards just through the air and catching the ball. Let's hit him for over 40 yards, alt rushing and receiving. Next one, George Kittle. We all know one of Brock Purdy's favorite targets, and who seems to be open when Ayuk and Deebo are covered, either double coverage, has a safety over the top, whatever it looks like. Kittle just seems to find a way. He's in Iowa, tight end. Let's go Hawks. But here's the deal. I got him at over 25 yards receiving tonight. He's hit on over 40 yards all 4 games that he's played this year. Purdy's been throwing the ball to him. That seems like an easy win to me. Let's bet on Kittle tonight for over 25 yards receiving. Next up, Geno Smith. It's a crazy NFL season, I'll tell you that. Geno Smith is the passing yard leader in the NFL. The guy that came out of West Virginia. The guy that didn't make it in the Jets. The guy that went to Seattle and revitalized his career. That Geno Smith. Shout out to him, man. Comeback. I like seeing people win. That dude is winning and he's doing it the right way. So I've got Geno Smith hitting for over 200 yards tonight, an alt receiving line through FanDuel, over 200 yards passing. Okay, Geno has thrown for over 200 yards in 4 out of 5 games this season. That's 4 out of the last 5. The only game that he did not throw for over 200 was the first game of the season. Ever since that, he's been throwing the ball around the yard, and he's been doing it pretty damn well. Let's bet Geno Smith over 200 yards passing tonight. Now, one of the things that I think is absolutely absurd to me is they've got Geno Smith's rushing yards tonight at over under 12.5. Geno Smith has hit that 3 out of 5 games, okay, over 12.5. Now, the other thing is Fred Warner's out tonight. Bosa's going to be crashing around the edge. Geno is not going to just be able to sit back there and wait for receivers to come open against the 49ers defense. Look at last week against the New York Giants. Thibodeau was having his way with that O-line. I like Geno Smith over 12.5. It takes 1-2 rush attempts. He's been averaging about 3. So pick Geno over 12.5 because I think they're going to have some chaos in that backfield. I don't think Geno's just going to be able to sit back there and wait for receivers to come open. Pick him for over 12.5 tonight. I think that's one of my favorite plays of the evening. Last but not least, we've got Brock Purdy at an alt passing yards line for over 200 yards. Brock Purdy has thrown for over 200 yards in all 5 games. That's a win. Brock Purdy's gonna have to throw this dang ball around. The Seattle offense, it's crazy. It's not the old Seattle that we knew. Okay, it's not beast mode, running it down your throat. Don't get me wrong, Walker's a beast, Charbonnet's a beast, but they're not Marshawn. Okay, let's talk about not handing the ball off to Marshawn and losing that Super Bowl. Let's bring that up. But let's look at it this way. Brock Purdy's going to have to throw this ball around. All the receivers are healthy. Jauan Jennings is out there. I mentioned that earlier. I think he is going to eat Witherspoon for lunch. The deal is, he's going to have to throw this ball. Frank Mason is great, but Frank Mason can also catch the ball out of the backfield. This is not going to be, let's run it for 30 times tonight. We're going to get up. We're going to get early. He's thrown for 200 yards every game. Every game this year. Brock Purdy is a lock. He's a lock for me at over 200. Now, if we put all of that together and we parlay that, you can play that individually however you see fit, okay? Remember, we're betting as a risk. I'm looking at bets as an investment, just like the stock market, just like crypto. I can absolutely lose this money, but I'm not betting to pay the bills. I'm betting to have fun, sit down, watch the game, and enjoy another team play. That's not my team. Obviously, Vikings on a bye this week. So let's talk about it. We're betting money for fun, okay? We're not betting to pay the bills. We're not doing anything like that. If you have a gambling addiction, reach out. I'm happy to help you get to where you need to be in life. But again, this is just for fun, guys. Whatever you see fit, whatever you can bet, I'm with you, okay? So let's talk about it. At a unit, one unit being $100, this parlay, if you parlay it, is at plus 508 currently on FanDuel. So what that means is a $100 bet, or we can call it a $100 investment, would turn into $508.51 if this all hits, bringing us a total with our $100 investment back to $608.51 when those clocks hit 0 in the fourth quarter. So again, these are some of my locks. I may not parlay all of this together, but I do really think I'm going to push for it. Look at the pinned comment. Let's talk about it. I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe my research isn't what everybody wants to believe. But at the same time, I've also been turning $2.50 into over 1,000. I've been hitting consistently. I'm at a winning clip at 73% currently. So let's talk about it. Let's have some conversation. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy this NFL season together, and let me help you make some money. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and every video, put the charity of your choice in. And at the end of the week, 10% of all winnings goes to one lucky subscriber's charity of choice. For me, I like to give to Alzheimer's. I love addiction, recovery. I love to give to these things, but I'd love to just have fun this NFL season. Let's make some money together, okay? And let's give back while doing it. Stay blessed, everybody. God bless. Joe Kennedy. Hey, don't forget, parlay it forward.